Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to show you how to use pivot table in Excel. I know most people might have said this thing most time here, but you don't know how you can use it, to make your data analysis very simple. So that's what I want to show you in this video. Alright, so let's get into it. The first data set I'll be using here is a crash data. So if you're a graduate student or an undergrad and you want to carry out a data analysis and you have your raw data in this format, you want to sort it to see how does the variables relate with each other. For instance, here now I want to see how many accidents occurs during the days of the week, different days of the week, or how many accidents occur in each of the year here listed here. So first thing I will do is to go and put Control Shift L. That will put my filter tab there, so I could see, okay, there are 5 years here between 2016 to 2020. That's the data set I'm looking at. Now from here is different months. We have 12 months in a year. We have the days of the week, we have the week of the year, time of the day, rural or urban, and different highway classification. So what I want to achieve here is to sort this data in a way that I will understand what this data represents. So that's what pivot table does. So if I click on insert pivot table, it goes here. Okay, so it brings me into this page, and here I can do my sorting. So what I want to achieve here now is, what do I use as my filter? Or that is not really important. My column value, my rows, and my values. Okay, so for my rows, I can decide to what do I want to show on my rows. Okay, I want to see the month of the year. All right, so month of the year, if I put it here, so I have month of the year, that is 12 months in the years, and I want to see how many accident occurs on different types of highway. I'll put the highway classification here, and then I can also put highway classification as my values. All right, so what this is showing me now is that in the first month of the year, I have this different number of accidents that occur on different highway type. So this might be a federal highway, this might be an interstate, this might be a rural, and so it depending on the type of highway classification you have, and that gives me a breakdown of what is there. Okay, so this is how you can carry out a simple analysis. So if I want to also check another relationship, I can come back here and say, oh, I don't want highway classification. And very important, you need to check what is the field value that is being used to show you this. So you go here and we see that it is using sum, and I'm not interested in sum. What I'm interested in is count, the number of accidents, not the addition of the accident. So I have to change this to count. Click on count. You see it has changed to count. So here what this is telling me now is that on this particular highway classified as 5, there are more accidents occurring on that highway type for this given different months. And you can see here most accidents occurred in October on this highway. All right, so that is a way you can visualize your data, or let me say you can tabulate your data, have a better understanding, and then you can use this to plot different charts or carry out different analysis you want to do, whether statistical test, whatever test you want to conduct, you can do that. And also if I want to do a different one, I can say, okay, I want to see the accident that occur, whether it's on the rural or urban road. I can remove this one, remove field. Instead I put rural or urban roads here. So it is still the same thing that is going to give me, because my column value is still highway classification. So if I check this value of field, it is still sum. I have to change it to count, and here if I come here I have to remove field and put rural here. So if I check this, is this still on count? Yes, still on count. So you can see now that rural is probably 1, 2 is urban, So that means there are more accidents occurring on the urban road than the rural road. So that is a breakdown of accidents occurring on different months of the year, right? Remember, this month represents the month in the 5 years period that we have on our data here, right? If you look here, we have 5 years. So that result represents for 5 years. So now, if I want to do another thing, let me say now, I don't want to use the months anymore. I want to use the year. I want to see how the accident varies across different years. I remove the rows. I put year here. All right. So if I put here, rural or urban, count on the road, rural or urban, then I can see that this is at 5 different years, and from my data set, I think it's 2016 to 2020. All right. Now look at this data. You can see that in 2020 we have the least accident occurring, but on the rural road and even on the urban road. And remember, 2020 was during the COVID and there was lockdown, so less accident occurs during that period. So you can use this to have an insight into your data set and to have a better understanding of what is happening. So you can try different combinations depending on what you want to see. So if you want to see time of the day or day of the week, you can do that. You can remove year here, remove field, put day of the month. You can see 31 days of the month, and these are how the accident varies or crashes varies across different days of the month. So you can do different things. Day of the week of the year. Just remove this one, put week of the year. You can see that week of the year, 53 weeks in the year. You can see which of the week do you have more accident. That can give you an idea. You can see here we have 36 in the 45th week. So something like that is how you visualize tabulate your data, and from here you can decide to copy these values here. Control C. You can open a new sheet and paste it here as values. Just paste as values. So you have this as values, and you can do whatever you want to do with it, either to plot a graph or whatever you want to do with that. All right. So another example I want to show you is a data set, travel mode data set. All right. So this data set is just showing you the different types of mode people use to move around for mobility. We have the walk, so let me sort it. Control Shift L, that is filter. You can see I have 4 mode: auto, bike, transit, and walk. And I have the trip distance covered by different mode, trip duration, gender, trip type, household size, and household income. So I've changed everything to numbers for easier understanding. So under household income, there are 4 classes of income. 4 is the highest class, 1 is the smallest class of income. So here we have the trip type. There are different types of trip, maybe trip to the shopping mall, trip to school, trip to work, maybe trip to recreation center. So those are different types of trip. So if you want to visualize, which mode do people use to go for this type of trip, the more, you can easily use pivot table. Just go to pivot table, select the whole data, click OK. Right. So under here also, what you want to visualize is let me look at what mode do people use for different types of trips. So let me say trip type should be my row, right? Then the mode, trip mode should be my column. Trip mode can also be my value. All right. So now look here, this is count. Count of trip mode. Now you look at this place, you can see that for people using car, this is the number of people that use car to go for this trip. This is the number of people that use bike to go for this trip, and like that. You can see that for January, the total number of trips made using auto, which is a car, is 20,000. So that is the highest. For people working is the second highest, and you can see how those values varies across different trip type. Right, so now let me say I want to change this one to another thing. Let me say gender. I remove this, I put gender here. You can see we have male and female. So male, number of people that travel with auto is this, for female is this, and across like that you can see how it varies across those columns. All right, so if you don't want to do gender, maybe you want to see the trip duration. Okay, let me say here now trip mode is in the column. The value, I don't want the value to be count of trip mode. Remove, let me say trip duration. So now trip duration is now sum. Okay, addition of the trip duration, the time it takes to travel with auto, travel with and for male and female, you can see people that walk, people that travel with cars, the distance, the time they take, and everything. You can do different type of visualization or tabulation here. So with this data set, you can copy it, then you can go to another tab, for instance, and you paste it as values. So with this now, you can decide to plot a chart. Let's say you want to insert scatter plot, for instance, something like this. You can see that series 1, maybe that is if you click on this, that is for the female, this is for the male. It can give you an idea of how these things vary. So there are different things you can do, and from there you can have an idea of what your data is. I hope this video has helped you, and if you gain value from it, please like it and subscribe to the channel. I'll be releasing similar videos subsequently. Thank you for watching.